to bring you right quick to a video that talks about how he incited the riots on January 6th. Once again, you have to watch words very carefully, because many people will tell you he never flat out said to go do this or to go do that, but it's the spirit of the words in which you speak. The whole make America greater thing, the whole make America great again thing, which many people always ask, at what point in time of America's history was it great for certain ethnicities, especially like black folks? At what point in time? Because we've still been fighting for a lot of rights and a lot of equalities and different things. So at what point in time are you talking about going back to where America was great? What part you talking about, bro? But see, what these things do is they identify with the spirit of folks who already have certain thoughts in their heads about people in their country that they don't believe belong, even though they don't belong in this country. Because Europeans, this is not your country. But this identifies with certain people in certain times in their mind where they're like, yeah, if we could go back to that time. Like what time? Where black people had to get on the other side of the street when you were walking down the street? Where they could be in prison for looking at a white woman? Like what part of time are we talking about? Because we're not too far from slavery. And so any time before that was all slavery. What era of America are we talking about? Because really it shouldn't be make America great again. It should be make America great, period. If you're talking about for equality and freedom and things like that, it needs to be made great for the first time before it could be great again. But see, you have to have enough sense to know that politicians don't just come out calling black folks the N-word or calling different people different slurs. When they want to talk about black folks, they'll say new different type of buzzwords. I read a whole book on this where they talked about it. It taught people in politics how to speak these words to identify different people who they were talking about. But instead of talking plainly about the N-word when talking about black folks, it says you don't say the N-word anymore. You know what you say? You say low-income neighborhoods. You say high-crime neighborhoods. You say things about Section 8. You say things about crime. You say things about school systems. You use buzzwords in which everyone knows what you're talking about without saying it. There are all kind of different buzzwords that people use that some of you may not even understand or may not even know what these things mean, but they mean they're speaking about an exact demographic of people, that people who know what these words mean, they know exactly who you're talking about. They know exactly who you're referring to. So let's take a listen to some of this.
Please welcome the 45th President of the United States of America.
President Trump is known for his blunt, off-the-cuff style of speaking. And that could be why the Senate convicts him this month for inciting an insurrection. Legally, whether or not he actively engaged in a rebellion against the authority of the United States.
Bro, look at this. Do you see all of these people rushing a government building? If any other nation of people and you can see flags with derogatory words on them, meaning this was planned. So you can't take your loss. You're going to make up a lie and say that someone cheated you out of winning the election. And have all of these people foolishly willing to die and riot behind you. I'm not going to do any of that behind anybody, behind anyone. But look at all of these people rushing this Capitol building. You are supposed to be mowed down before you even get up those steps. You're supposed to be mowed down with machine guns as enemies. I'm not saying I wish this on them. What I'm saying is this is a terrorist act. If any other group, boy, black folks would have never made it through the gates. But you can't shoot all of these Europeans. It would look bad. You can't shoot all of these Europeans on camera. You can't shoot all of these Europeans and have this day go down in history. And as an officer, you're scared because you're like, man, what happens? Like, even though I feel threatened right now, what happens if I shoot one of these Europeans? Even though one of them did get shot. And that woman was crazy. She was making Instagram videos on the way there, screaming and hollering, talking about all of the hell she was going to raise. And she sure did get shot down, too. Trying to climb through that window. She got shot down. As she should. I hate to say it like that. But as she should have, as a terrorist. As a terrorist. Do I feel bad for her family? Most definitely. Do I feel bad for her? Most definitely. But you were engaging in an act of war. People were running through those halls of the Capitol building talking about looking for different people's offices. They had people hiding under desks, scared to death. They were threatening to hang people, to behead people. Yeah, you can't talk all of that kind of talk. If someone says those type of things about you, that's a threat. You're getting arrested for that. But look at all of these Europeans rushing this Capitol building, which is an act of war. They should have never made it up those steps. But even the police are scared to defend themselves because they don't want to go to jail for shooting a European.
According to the House's article of impeachment, Trump made statements that encouraged and foreseeably resulted in lawless action at the Capitol. But
we know
how
that.
can making a few statements incite a rebellion?
Look at this.
One component of inciting someone.
This is equal to the American Revolution, in which Americans disagreed with the British government, wanted to rebel, and rioted against them. Against their authority, against their rules, against their laws. This is an act of war against your government. Black folks will walk into a store and riot a store, loot at a store, and the police are there ready with tear gas to shoot them down and everything else. But here these people were allowed to just march all the way down the street to this Capitol building without any repercussions, except the few that got shot.
To violence or inciting someone to action is presenting them or creating a shared understanding of the world. In order to march to the Capitol, break windows, tear down the American flag, and replace that flag with the flag.
Bruh, to tear down an American flag and put up your flag, if that is not an act of war, what is? That's what we do when we go into countries and we win wars. There's a famous picture of us doing that in World War II. Stamping our flag on the top of a hill, letting it be known like we conquered this land. This is letting you know, listen, this is a sub-government inside of the American government that is now attempting to take over. This is crazy that you can watch this, that it actually happened in our lifetime. And for me to know what I know about war and history and stuff like that, this is an act of war that was ignored because of who committed it. These people came in with bad intentions to kill people, to hurt people, to injure people.
Of someone we feel more devoted to. There's an us versus them.
That's
and that
some
means
angry,
the only
evil people. Look at this picture, bro.
Tear down the American
Watch
flag
this
and
is
replace that
these are
flag
some
with
evil,
the flag
angry people.
of someone.
Look at this. Screaming, looking crazy, with your face painted, with mask on. Look at her. That is a psycho. These are psychos. These are the type of people that call the police on you and want the police to come and kill you when they call them out there. They want results. They're not calling the police for peace. They're calling the police for results. They want actions taken against you. This is wild, bro. It's so crazy that I saw this in my lifetime, knowing what I know.
And we feel more devoted to. There's an us versus them. And that means the only rightful conclusion is to take some action to get the election back, to get the country back.
That idea comes up in the 2 quotes included in the article of impeachment.
We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
And
we won this election, and we won it by a landslide.
He's telling them to fight. He's telling them to fight. What are you talking about? Unless we fight to do what? The election's over, bro. What are you fighting for? What is there to fight about? You already did whatever fight you were going to do when you were running for president. You lost. But now look at him. We won this election, and we won it by a landslide. All this we stuff. Speaking French.
The rhetorical effect of using we with an audience is tremendous. Some can utilize that to generate us versus them distinctions.
And see, he loves that. He does this. He's a master of propaganda, and he doesn't seem like he can speak that well at all. But see, this is what Adolf Hitler was very good at too. He was an orator, a great orator, who was able to captivate you with his words and give you a sense of purpose. And this isn't making myself out to be so special or some type of genius, emotional genius or something like this. But I've never been moved by anyone trying to like finagle me into their side. Like I would sit there and hear somebody give me a speech in which I know they're trying to win my emotion or win me over. And I'm just sitting there looking like, man, you crazy if you think I'm about to do that. Or you're crazy if you think I'm about to take your side with that and go crazy with that and just fall into whatever it is that you're saying. But Trump does this all the time in his speeches, and people who are already identifying with those hateful ways, with those racist ways, with those ways of acting as though America is their land. They identify with these things. All this we. Boy, I'm not going to march anywhere behind that with you. And especially if you're not coming with us, he was nowhere to be found. But people who already have that hate in their heart, they take on those words and they ride with it. They ride for it. We.
And can motivate their audience to see the world as they are pitted against others who are not part of the we. There are at least 12 to 14 other times in the speech where Trump refers to the gathering specifically that day.
We're gathered together in the heart of our nation's capital. You'll never take back our country with weakness.
And that's followed by other language, which is the direct call to action in the speech.
We're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down to the Capitol.
Why are we going? So, see, this is the thing. And people try to say how he says we're going to go down there peacefully and this or that. After he says all of this, I believe he says something about going peacefully and this or that. But you've already amped the people up and then pointed them in the direction of where you wanted to go, knowing full well you were not going down there with them. You amped them up. You already had them on. We're going to fight. We have to take back this country. They lied to us. They messed over us. They tricked us. We're going to go walk down there. You don't do all of that. That's like telling somebody, that's like, say you a woman or even a little brother, either way, and you go and tell your big brother as a man or a woman, man, someone down the street, they messed over me, brother, they stole something from me, they took something from me, or they put their hands on me. Man, we can't let them, they're not going to play with me like that, man. We're not going to let them play with me like that. They're not going to think that I'm weak. They're not going to think that I'm some type of sucker. So we're going to go down the street, we're going to go to their house, and we're going to peacefully talk to them. No, by that point, your big brother's like, man, ain't no peace talking. They did what? All right, I'm going to show you when I get down there. I'm going to show you. You can say all of the peace stuff you want to at the end of your paragraph, but you done already activated and triggered your big brother to go down there and do something for you. And then you don't even walk down there with him. You let him go down there on his own based off the emotions to where it's like, look, you already played on my little brother, so I'm not going to let you play on me too. I'm about to swing on you when I get down here. See, you can't play those type of word games and then say at the end, yeah, but he said peacefully. He said to do it peacefully. Man, who do you think you're talking to? I see straight through that. I already understand the propaganda that's being played on these people and playing on their emotions. Just playing with them like a fiddle. Playing them like a violin.
So let's walk down Pennsylvania Avenue.
Every type of speech that's going to involve some kind of
Come
incitement.
on, man. This is too easy to see.
It's also going to need that call.
Dog, do you dog, them people crazy. Patriots, let's go. Let's go. Like, bro, these people are crazy, bro. Crazy. And a lot of them, I hate to say it, but a lot of them, you catch them individually, they're not going to do anything. They talk a lot of talk, but a lot of them need guns, need weapons. They get online and they talk crazy, they talk reckless. But these are insane, possessed people filled with hatred in their heart. And how are you so protective of a country that is not even yours? You look at all of the people here, there's different countries that they are truly from. Like Yugoslavia, Italy, London, England. I know London is a city, but I mean England, Greenland, Iceland, Spain, Czechoslovakia, Norway, Finland, Denmark. There are so many different countries that these people are from, that their blood is from. Ireland. Scotland. You are Europeans. You weren't born in this country. I mean, some of you may have been, but your ancestors were not born in this country. No one who looks like you was found in this country. But they will have you believe that this is their country. And you see the spirit of their hateful ancestors. And this is not all of them. This is not everyone. I'm just speaking about the ones that we're looking at. Don't ever think I'm sitting here talking about all Europeans are evil. I'm not an absolute person. I deal with things on a case-by-case scenario. But there's a lot of privileged individuals that think that this is their country to protect or police. And it's not.
To say, and now let's go do it. Now let's go engage in that behavior. It could be argued, that Trump was targeting specific individuals.
And
Oh,
Mike
yeah.
Pence, I hope you get.
Listen, he most definitely, he did target individuals. There were certain people that they went into this Capitol building looking for by name. There were certain people that they went into this building looking for to kill, cause damage to hurt. And he gave them a hit list. You can't play dumb. You can't do all of this then play dumb. See, if anyone did all of this type of stuff on the first 48, man, the first 48 will have everybody in jail. All y'all going to jail. All y'all going to jail for conspiracy. Yeah, they didn't kill the person, but you told them to go kill the person. They didn't shoot the person, but you told them who you wanted shot. You told them where to go, where they live. You gave him the gun to go down there with. You told him what time he would be home. You did all of that. You're going down for conspiracy as well. But we all know in this country, if certain companies or certain people or corporations do different things that we know that they are responsible for certain actions, we know that sometimes they'll never be punished for these things. They'll never be punished for these things. But he's giving names of who he wants them to target.
Stand up for the good of our Constitution.
Not only is he asking his audience to observe those individuals, he's asking the audience to ensure that those individuals take what he is deeming as the right action. He targets Mitt Romney specifically by name.
Romney, he got slaughtered.
That would point to the way that he singles out those he believes have been helpful to him.
And Rudy, you did a great job. He's got guts. You know what? He's got guts.
You turn those tables and you start to use words like slaughter or fear or hell or attack, and you repeat them over and over and over again, where the sort of graphic, violent appeal becomes the only type of repetition that then allows.
So he said
like
all of these words.
Or fear or hell or attack.
He said all of these different words, these amount of times. I told you, he is a master of repeating words to get it into the subconscious of people who are not smart enough to be able to decipher what's happening and taking place. He said all of these different words this amount of times. And all of this plays into the psyche of individuals who don't know any better. You just sit there hearing these words, not knowing what's going on. But you're all bucked up. You're all amped up. Don't talk about if you've been drinking out there, if you want some type of drugs out there. All this is a master class of propaganda.
And you repeat them over and over and over again, where the sort of graphic, violent appeal becomes the only type of repetition that then allows for types of incitement. It is also true that Donald Trump on January 6th, in bringing to culmination a series of particular types of symbols, particular types of language.
Look at this. Look at this.
That do a lot.
What are you doing? What are you doing when you break in the glass? You're not coming to talk, as far as I'm concerned. You are trying to break into a place. If someone is outside of your house doing that to get inside the door, what is your reaction? I believe many of you, most of you, are probably grabbing a weapon to protect yourself. Do you think they mean any good? Do you think they're going to break through the window and then give you some of your mail that was accidentally put in their mailbox? Here you are. This accidentally got left in my mailbox. I doubt it. Do you think they breaking through your window to ask you if they could borrow some sugar? No, it looks like with that action that they're coming to take whatever they want. Like I said, I'm just looking at the play-by-play. Don't get mad at me. I didn't do these things. Don't get mad at me for having common sense enough to see these things and know that I'm supposed to think differently about these things than from what they're telling me.
Of what I would call creating a culture of kind of weaponized communication that's aimed at particular opponents, particularly in this case, the system of democratic elections in the United States. And that has continued, which might suggest to us that there is a way in which we're going to see some politicians take in Trump's approach to politics as their model and their brand as we move forward in history.
What does it say to the nearly half the country that believes this election was rigged?
We do need an investigation into irregularities.
Will we allow the media that is just as guilty as QAnon?
Now her mask says free speech. Come on, bro. See, these people dress up in costumes, and so many people who look like them and want them to be right and want them to be correct believe what they're saying because they want it to be true. But just like me, I don't believe and support everything black just because it's black. If you're not right, you're not right. I don't care what kind of mask you have on. I don't care what kind of shirt you have on. If anything, I'm going to see the irony in you saying one thing and doing another. But so many Europeans see the mask and the costumes and the uniforms that their fellow Europeans put on, and since they want it to be the truth, they just go with it. And all of these people keep on repeating, the election was rigged, the election was rigged, the election was rigged. It's almost like these are notes that they have to take and abide by in order to promote that message. It's almost like they have a meeting and say, listen, all of us, this is what we're going to say. And both sides do that. Once again, both sides do that. But this side, a lot of times, is always doing something that's dangerous, that is inciting its followers to commit violent acts of crime against people who don't agree. The Democratic side, they may do it a lot just to lie and get certain thoughts and ideas out there. But I'm talking about with this Republican side, when they put their lies out are out to hurt people, to get people hurt, to get violence started, to have people who do not agree with them hurt and silenced. I heard of her, Marge Green. Yeah, I heard a lot about her.
Of presenting truth and lies to divide us.
Look at this, bro. Here's some more on it since we're already here. Check this out.
On the surface, Wednesday started like so many Trump rallies had before. But the anger and the tension felt more intense. Congress was about to confirm Joe Biden's presidency, and most here were convinced it was a fraud.
Convinced it was a fraud, meaning what? They were told. It was put into their minds that it was a fraud. And they say it started off like every other Trump rally, yeah, with the same demographic of people out there. And it looks cold out there. I'm sorry. I'm not sitting outside nowhere in the car. I mean, I guess they have, I guess people do what they want for things they love. Because, I'd like to go to a New York Giants football game. That's something I really want to do. I want to go to a home Giants football game in the cold weather, just to say I did it. You know what I mean? But even then, I probably still want to come home. But, politics, I don't think I'm going to sit out there just listening to someone talk like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, but hey, but if it isn't, but once again, you got to learn to respect people's differences. If it isn't my cup of tea, it doesn't mean it isn't someone else's. You feel me? Because obviously there's plenty of people who had the time and patience and long johns to enjoy this and hand warmers. You know what I mean?
Do you think people are angry today?
Absolutely, people are angry, and you can feel it. You can feel the rage, the madness.
Before,
brother, I don't want to talk about that, brother, but he definitely looks like the madness. And, and what's amazing is certain types of Europeans, they don't even understand that you are not what this party is representing. They will use the fact that you identify as a European to their advantage, but they don't care about you. They only care about certain types, certain statuses of their European brothers and sisters. You, my brother, who was just up there talking, you identify more with us, and you don't even know it. But he said you could feel it. What's there to feel, bro? Y'all just supposed to be talking about politics. What is there to feel? See, this is that old American Revolution, Civil War type spirit being conjured up. That old when we don't get what we want, when people disagree with us, we're going to take it type of spirit being conjured up.
Trump's speech was even finished. Many were already making their way to the Capitol.
See, plenty of people, he said the speech wasn't even finished and plenty of people were taken off to the Capitol already. So many people didn't hear the part at the end talking about peace. We're going to go in peace and this and that. They got their marching orders. They heard what they needed to hear and they took off.
Stop protecting tyrants! Stand down!
And as more protesters arrived, the mood darkened.
That policeman looked nervous. He looked nervous. Hold up. I got to get back to him.
Stop protecting tyrants! Stand down!
And as more protesters.
My boy right here, he looks nervous. The one without the mask on. He looks nervous, bro. And why does this dude right here, this dude has on a baseball. He has on the helmets we used to wear in the batting cage when we were practicing, but all the way to the left. Dog, why did you have on a batting cage baseball helmet on? Like, these people came for wreck. They came for violence. Dog, why do you have on a baseball batting cage helmet for Little League? That's wild, bro. But that police, he's nervous. He said, man, I don't know what to do. I know what you should have did.
Arrived. The mood darkened.
Hold up, man! Hold up, man!
Look at this.
Yeah, here at the Capitol steps, right after the Trump speech was finished, people started filing over here and started pressing against the Capitol. Police are spraying mace and pushing the lines back so people can get through. We're going to move forward.
USA! USA! USA!
Bro, anywhere where I have to wear a gas mask, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'd rather not be there. I'm a pass on that, bro. That just looks like a little too much fun for me. You know what I'm saying?
But as we pushed up.
And it's so amazing how so many of these Europeans want to act like they're being cheated so bad. They want to act like they're being oppressed so bad. Just the irony of it. Like, what? You're being oppressed? Like, come on, man. Come on, bro. You can't be serious. Come on, man. Don't do that.
Who's on the media? Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here!
Whoa. I'm sorry about that, y'all. I did not want that type of language. Well, now that I know that's how they getting down, I think we've seen enough. Let me see.
Get the fuck out of here!
They tried to smash our camera.
See, they violent. See, they're violent, bro. They're violent. I got freedom of speech. Why are you touching me? Why are you touching my camera? See, they don't mean what they say, bro.
Who you with? Who you got?
Who are you with? I could wrap it up right here. Who are you with? He's hollering to the dude. Who are you with? Because guess what? If he's not with who he wants him to be with, he wants to hit him with the stick. There is no freedom of speech. There is no equality. There is no peace. This is wild, bro.
CNN? Better not be CNN.
You better not be with CNN. You could tell he's one of those, we only like Fox News around here type of fellas. Y'all hear these people, bro? This is absurd, bro.
Police started throwing flashbang grenades and spraying mace.
Look at these people trying to pull away the barricades. Man, y'all should have whooped that dude till next week. But then if they'd have did that, all of those Europeans out there would have probably started jumping those police. I'm telling you, that was black folks out there. You start jumping police, boy, you done signed your death warrant. You done signed it. But this is the country we live in, bro.
As the crowd pushed up, one man flashed his handgun at a group of journalists.
I was about to say, I know people out here have guns. Now he's showing a gun behind his waistband. Man, this is a real thug, bro. This is a real hoodlum. I'm about to say, I know people out there have guns on them, bro. They have to. But these are real hoodlums. Look at it, showing it to the camera like he in a NBA Youngboy video or something.
The cops weren't prepared. They had to take turns with the masks to protect from their own tear gas. The defense lines quickly fell apart.
It's your country and you want it back. Man, I wish the Indians would say that. I wish the American Indians would say that, boy. This is, bro, the delusion. This is our country and we want it back. This is insanity, bro. Like, they're so, you ever met someone who was so wrong that you don't even know how to start talking to them because you're like, I just know you're truly insane. These people are truly insane. We've gone far from the point of the video I wanted to make at this point, bro. But this is just a little rabbit hole that I just had to go down with y'all right quick. Because some of you may have never seen this footage. I know I haven't. There we go. We saw this clip.
Soon after, the mob was rampaging through the halls of the Capitol.
This is called breaking and entering. Look at this.
From what we saw on Wednesday, the MAGA anger is at a new level. And with Trump now banned from Twitter and plans already circulating for future marches on the Capitol.
Dog. I'm telling you, if these were black folks, they would pull those guns off their hips so fast and start shooting. But they're scared of the pushback of shooting these even though when you shoot black folks, you don't go to jail for it as a policeman. But it's so crazy how they know if they pull their guns on these Europeans, that there's a chance that it's not going to go the way that they thought once it's all said and done. But for my own personal safety, and I'm not just saying it's like I wanted to see people getting shot. But at that point in time, you don't know what these people are capable of. And obviously, you've already seen some with guns behind their waist. I can't tell you how, as an officer, I would have responded, bro. Because I don't think this would have been the way.
That day of unprecedented violence may not be the end of this unrest.
I wonder if they're going to show the dude with the Viking hat on. Let me get back to my boy, and we're going to wrap this up, man.
With everybody who thinks that Donald Trump is dangerous or dishonest, and he just is. He is dangerous, and he is dishonest.
That's kind of why I broke away to those other videos to show you the trouble that Trump caused with his words and with the riots and everything else like that, because he was just talking about how dishonest and dangerous he is.
That's just true. That's not an opinion. It's counting. Some people like that. That's fine. How do we know how serious this is? How do we know? The idea of an American president not even tiptoeing anymore, but marching towards totalitarianism is so alien, so difficult to get your head around, so completely at odds with everything we know, that I think there's a reluctance even to contemplate it. But this is really, really extraordinary. Not so much the sackings and the suspensions, gross though they are, but the way that they're being undertaken by people who simultaneously claim to be defenders of free speech, to be protectors of free speech. And the maddest thing that happened last week was the negative reaction to people being introduced to the words of Charlie Kirk. This still staggers me in the context of both free speech, free expression, and proper journalism. Somebody has been murdered in a horrible, horrible way, and we don't know much about him. Let's find out more about him. How dare you find out more about him? How dare you show people what he believed and play clips of him?
Yeah, that's what's amazing. People who don't know about Charlie Kirk and were trying to find out and then came across a bunch of things that were not all of that flattering. Now the people who support Charlie Kirk are mad because you went and did your research. Rather than just jumping out and saying he was this, he was that. No, you took the time, went and did your research, and found the clips of some of the crazy stuff that he said. And now these same people want you fired from your jobs because you're quoting and repeating the things that he said out of his mouth, or using your freedom of speech to comment on the things that he said. It just doesn't even make any sense. And I think I'm going to just wrap it up here. But that's the point of the whole thing. But these people want you sacked. They want your livelihood taken away from you if you don't agree with them. While they want to be left to freely just promote the hatred and division that they want to promote. And if you don't agree with it, now you are the problem. So with all that being said, man, listen, I'm not about taking sides with parties. I don't believe in either party. I believe in the Lord. I believe in the Lord's word. I believe in the true gospel of Jesus Christ. Which, yes, there are laws that need to be abided by according to the gospel of Jesus Christ. There are things that we consider right and wrong. But for those who don't follow those things, we still are commissioned to love them, to pray for them. And I would advise you and admonish you to pray for the families of Charlie Kirk and any other people who go through things that you don't necessarily agree with. Pray for their families. If you don't like their views, pray that it be changed. Pray that God open their heart and their mind. But pray for them. In Jesus' name, Father, I just thank you. I'll pray right now. Father, I just thank you for everything that you're teaching us in our hearts and our minds, dear God. I want to pray for the families of Charlie Kirk, dear God, of every other individual. I don't know the names of the other government-related people who lost their lives as well recently. I did hear about them, but I want to pray for their families as well, for their friends, for their followers, for everyone. I want to pray for the listeners who are hearing this right now, dear God, that they can just have their heart and mind changed, that it can lean towards grace, compassion, mercy, true love, loving their enemies, loving our one God, and doing those things which are right in the sight of the Lord. We just thank you for another chance and opportunity to just be here in the land of the living, dear God, to spread love, to spread your word, and to respect and honor one another. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Till next time, y'all. 1.